Kingdom Come Deliverance is an upcoming first-person, single-player sandbox RPG by Warhorse Studios that is rooted deep in 15th century Bohemian history. Unlike other medieval RPGs, Kingdom Come Deliverance aims to offer players the most authentic 15th century experience through historical accuracy, and this means no mythical creatures or magical powers. The game has recently entered its beta stages, and I thought I would share a bit about what we have learned so far of the game. Story and setting. Kingdom Come Deliverance is set in a time of chaos and strife in Bohemia. The king is dead and his eldest son Wenceslas IV has arisen to take his place. However, Wenceslas IV, not unlike many kings of his era, is incompetent. The nobility, fed up of his failures and inaction, have taken up the matter with Wenceslas's half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Seeing the opportunity, Sigismund kidnaps Wenceslas and invades the country with an army of mercenaries. You play a victim of the war named Henry who seeks revenge for the loss of his family, home, and honor. The beta begins midway through the actual game. The land is infested with bandits and marauders who, among other things, have set ablaze a stud farm and slaughtered the horses. Your job is to solve this massacre by tracking down one of the bandits named Riki. You have to traverse the huge map on your trusty horse, investigate nefarious individuals, and carefully follow any leads to get closer to your objective. Because of the extreme realism of the game, this is easier said than done. Design. Kingdom Come Deliverance is open world, allowing players to roam freely around the map from the first moments of the game. It follows many of the conventions of RPGs, like allowing players to take up main and side quests, level up their stats and skills, create reputations and relationships with other NPCs, etc. However, everything around you is dynamic, and in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you will experience the history of Bohemia as it happened. Warhorse wants players to feel part of it, experience it, but not change it. Because of this, the NPCs will not wait for you to take up quests at your leisure, and it is advised to do the side quests as you happen upon them to avoid missing the opportunity to undertake them. The whole game is designed so that you'll be able to solve quests in different ways. Your actions have consequences, so if you kill or estrange an NPC who could have been a useful source of information, you may cut off a potential solution for a future quest without even realizing it. The NPCs can report any crimes to authorities and alter their behavior towards you depending on your reputation. The potential of this is nearly limitless and will only be regulated by the time and budget of Warhorse. The game's aesthetics are some of the best I have ever seen. The world truly feels lived in and shows a heavily detailed reconstruction of the 15th century landscape. The lush greenery and dynamic weather system make for a greatly immersive experience as you walk through villages, castles, and deep forests. NPCs go about doing work or resting according to the various times of day, making things feel just as they would for that era. Gameplay. In Kingdom Come Deliverance, there are no classes to choose from or characters to customize. However, you can level all of Henry's stats and skills by simply using them. The game reacts to your style of play, similarly to Oblivion or Skyrim. You have a reputation and charisma system which will influence NPCs positively or negatively, changing the paths you can and will take to complete quests. Important events and NPCs are labeled on the map with a flag, however, no other guidance is provided on the GUI apart from that. The GUI is in fact very minimal, with nothing other than a stamina bar being shown at the bottom of the screen. Conversations in their dialogue tree structure immediately remind you of games like The Elder Scrolls or Fallout. Working through dialogue trees to get the most favorable response is rather difficult, and making the wrong choice can often prematurely end a quest line. Players will need to choose between persuasion and intimidation often if they hope to reach a conclusion in many of their side quests. It is advised to save often and reload if you need to. The combat felt rather clunky, incomplete, and it can take some time getting used to it. There are no clear indications of when you hit an enemy apart from a soft thump, like hitting something with a cardboard tube, and there are no blood animations. You swing your weapon aiming for different parts of your opponent's body by choosing one of the 5 different directions on your reticle that locks onto the enemy. Dodging, parrying, or blocking are all difficult, with both direction and timing being factors to consider in performing them. Both attacking and defending take up stamina, and being hit by swords or arrows induces bleeding, which effectively reduces your max stamina. An important thing to note about the combat is that the inability to quickly swing your sword and rush into battle makes it impossible to fight multiple enemies at once. The AI surrounds you and reacts to your movements and environments, making such encounters certain death without proper planning and the singling out of enemies. In a game that goes for realism, the combat is certainly no exception. Summary: the quests and dynamic nature of the world are a definite plus, but it can quickly become mundane after having witnessed a few day and night cycles. Apart from the generic side quests and the long main quest, there wasn't much to do if you strayed from the beaten path. The lack of interesting dialogue or animations and expressions during the dialogue only exacerbated these quests. In addition, the combat appears to be more difficult than it needs to be and can often frustrate you as you struggle to adapt to very real fighting, a quirk I hope will be worked out by the final version. In conclusion, Kingdom Come Deliverance does not reinvent the wheel when it comes to the mechanics of RPGs, nor does it add unique elements. However, it does do something different that makes you want to reach for the history book to delve into the knowledge of the past and learn about the history and culture of Bohemia. Warhorse has certainly excelled in creating a rich and realistic 15th century environment that piques the player's interest, but it remains to be seen if their endeavor for realism will come at the cost of entertaining gameplay. Only time will tell, and we're excited to find out.